I was going to give you guys a little bit of a guide on how to remove the engine out of E65, E66. I didn't see much on YouTube about how to do this. The first things first is the engine wiring harness. Do not unplug all of the connectors. There are some connectors you got to unplug to remove the intake manifold. But the main thing you're going to want to do is come up here. First you'll have to take the cowl off, and then take the little cover to the DME off, and then there's all of these empty connector slots are the ones that you remove, and then it basically pulls out in a harness like this. And most of the engine wiring harness is going to come out with the engine. There's a few connectors that you have to unplug to get the intake manifold out, because the intake manifold does have to come out to pull the engine out through the top. You can, however, if you're working on a lift, drop this whole engine assembly and transmission out through the bottom, and that is the easiest way. But if you're working in your garage and you don't have all the room to go in the world to go up with it, you can pull it out through the top. After you get the intake manifold removed, you will want to remove up in this section. There is like a cover that goes over top of the radiator. You'll want to remove the fan shroud and the radiator itself. On the radiator, it's pretty self-explanatory. You got upper, lower radiator hoses. There's one like expansion tank hose, but then here, I don't know if you can see that. This is like this is the oil cooler assembly, and how this works is there's on the very bottom of it. I can't really show you because I don't have. Let me grab this flashlight. Okay, set this down there. There is a little tab right here, and you push that tab down, and this will pull out away from there. Some other things is there is a hose that attaches here for the secondary air injection. You'll have to remove that. Up here there is your evap line, and then you have the brake booster hose, which comes up this direction. And I haven't made it much farther. I am going to leave the AC compressor in the car with the lines connected. Also, the power steering system is the other thing. If you have dynamic drive, which is the hydraulically controlled sway bar, and that means that there'll be a lot of power steering lines. So what you'll want to do is remove the power steering pump and just leave all of that with the car. It's much easier. The bell housing bolts that you'll have to get on the transmission are very difficult to remove, but it can be done. Other than that, once we get everything disconnected, I'll take another video here of underneath the car, getting the rest of the bell housing bolts, flywheel bolts out, and then we remove the exhaust. We'll disconnect the motor mounts, and then basically it should come right out.